Okay, so is it a shoegaze? How would I pronounce that music genre? Not familiar with it. Shoegaze, shoegaze,
Shoegaze, shoegaze, shoega.
shoegaze.
Is it French?
Yeah, is
Shoegaze,
it French? Shoegaze.
shoegaze. That
Yeah,
sounds
I never heard
Italian.
it. Italian, Italian, yeah, shoegaze. Um, what is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Before the Ball Drop podcast. We're your hosts, James.
And Rebecca.
And this is the second episode. Last week we explored the VHS era of the 90s and shared a lot of our stories and memories associated with that time period. And this week we are back again. And this time we are talking about the music of the 90s, in particular, our memories with different CDs and cassette tapes. We talked about the cassette tapes last week, and we're going to continue to delve deeper into them this week. So, are we excited or what?
Very. Music was a huge part of my 90s childhood.
Yeah, I think it was a part of a lot of our childhoods, and especially in the 90s, there was so much different stuff that came out, and like we had the emergence of the grunge era, the rise and fall of grunge in the 90s, all in one decade, and then like the rise of like Britney Spears. We had TLC. We had so much there. Korn were there, and Weezer, Green Day. So much big stuff. A lot of stuff in the rap world, but Tupac, Biggie, Biggie Smalls, Eminem. There was a lot.
Yeah, DMX, The Game,
Oh my God, yes, exactly.
everything.
DMX, the game, Run DMC.
Garbage.
Uh huh. We had Hole. If anybody is a fan of them, I've always unpopular opinion. I think I like Hole better than I like Nirvana, which is like seems like a cardinal sin, but like I for some reason I really like Courtney Love's voice a lot and her music in general. But not to say that I don't love Nirvana, but
Ooh. So,
it's like I kind of like your wife a bit better, Kurt. Sorry.
so, I actually never got into Nirvana.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
it's surprising. Yeah,
Yeah.
but my dad's the same way. Like he really doesn't care too much for Nirvana. He's loves the Foo Fighters, which obviously who doesn't love Dave Grohl and the Foo Fighters? Truth be told, like the best thing that it sounds messed up to say, but the best thing that could have happened to Dave Grohl was Kurt Cobain dying, and I know that's messed up. That's his buddy, that's his best friend, and like it shattered him. I'm just saying, like career perspective, right? My dad always says that, and I'm like, yeah, I mean, in a dark way, in a twisted way, yeah, that kind of is the best thing that could have happened for Dave Grohl,
Yeah.
because he founded the Foo Fighters and just took off from there.
Exactly.
But, hmm but before we get into the albums and the other content, all the festivities of this episode, we last week we did a thing where we exchanged movies and that we hadn't seen, the other person wasn't familiar with. I had her watch Tommy Boy and Black Sheep last for that podcast last week because there were movies she hadn't seen before. This week we exchanged albums. I She sent Bex here sent me a album to listen to. It was by My Bloody Valentine, the album Loveless. Thank you for sending that to me and recommending that to me.
Hmm. And what'd you think of it?
And Oh, like the genre, shoegaze. Look at my shoes. I don't know what it's called. Like, but I never been into that before. Like I've never listened to something like that before, and it was an experience. I will say that the songs "Only Shallow," "To Hear Knows When You Sleep," and "Come In Alone" are ones that I really liked, and they really resonated with me. I thought the lead singer was a girl for like the whole time listening to that album. So when I did some research on the album or on the musician there, on the band, I'm like surprised to find out that it was a guy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's more or less just the distortion associated with that genre. It like his voice really sounded a lot feminine, and so yeah, and I found out that they were associated with groups like Sonic Youth, which is another big 90s group that I'm a huge fan of.
Hmm.
So I thought that was pretty cool. Um, and what album did I recommend you to listen to?
You recommended me Third Eye Blind's album, self-titled Third Eye Blind.
And what did you think of that?
It was different from the genre that I grew up with because I grew up influenced a lot by my siblings. So they listened to a lot of rap and like stuff like that, like Korn and Rob Zombie, Marilyn Manson. So it
Oh
was
man.
definitely different. It's not. I enjoyed it for a change. Like I was listening to it on the bus, and yeah, no, it was good. I liked it. It's just kind of like a chill hangout album. I
Yeah, it's a
really,
good way to put it.
yeah, like I really liked Graduate, Burning Man, God of Wine was good too.
Oh God, yeah, God of Wine's probably my favorite on that album. The lyric that I really stands out to me. I've always liked it's every glamorous sunrise throws the planets out of line, a star sign out of whack, a fraudulent zodiac. I just love that. I love Stephen Jenkins.
Yeah, definitely some creative lyrics in that album.
Yeah, huge fan. That was the first CD I ever owned, so that's why I recommended that one. It was the first compact disc I ever owned, and I want to say it was one of the first cassette tapes that I'd ever owned. Um, I had the cassette tape at one point, and I'd had the CD at some point as well. Uh, I talked about cassette tapes on the last episode, and I said the first one that I owned was the Don McLean and Jim Croce double-sided one, but now I don't know if that's true or not because it might have been this as well on cassette. I might have owned this first on cassette, my first cassette, and this might have also been my first CD. So I guess it really holds a special place in my heart. So I'm glad that you were able to enjoy it.
Yeah, same with My Bloody Valentine because that one was kind of one that I found, like I said, my siblings influenced a lot of my childhood music. So My Bloody Valentine's Loveless was one that I actually just found by myself, which was nice.
That's awesome, man. Like when I was already like interested in listening to it when I heard the title, just because being a big Final Fantasy VII fan, I'm like, oh, Loveless.
Right?
A lot of Genesis, and Genesis would love that. But yeah, the genre shoegaze. I'm guessing it means like look at my shoes, like look down at your shoes. Uh, which I mean it probably doesn't, but hey, I've been influenced by musicians' footwear before. Fun fact, I bought pink Converses just because I seen Matt Skiba from Alkaline Trio wearing them when I went to see him in concert.
Cool.
Bought the purple pair because I saw Jiwoo from the K-pop group Card. She was wearing the purple ones in one of their music videos, and I was like, oh, I gotta get the purple ones. So, yeah, that's to me that's what shoegaze is. Shoegaze is when a musician wears cool shoes and you want to wear the same shoes as them.
Well, for that album, I always thought of it as like more stargaze type of music because I would go to the park at nighttime and put in my headphones and then just like lay in the field and listen to it.
Yeah, that makes sense too. Like it might be derivative of I should have looked it up, but I didn't. I just wanted to have fun with it. But yeah, it could be derivative of like yeah, stargazing and then I don't know where the shoe part would come into it, but I mean, we could look it up real quick why it's called shoegaze.
A style of rock
Shoegaze.
music characterized by a sound in which the distinctions between separate instruments and vocals are blurred.
Oh yeah, see, yeah, because it's like all distorted and it's like it sounds crazy. It sounds like an acid trip
Yeah,
in the
pretty
form of
much.
music, and I love it though. It's awesome. It's definitely a ride.
Yeah, it's a great album. It holds a special place in my heart.
It's good. So we were able to share albums that meant a lot to us, and we both enjoyed them. So if anyone listening to this podcast, check out Third Eye Blind self-titled, and check out My Bloody Valentine's Loveless as well. Some great albums. So shouts out to Third Eye Blind, and shouts out to My Bloody Valentine as well.
And while we're doing shout outs, I just want to quickly shout out the lo fi Grizzly on YouTube, who is allowing us to use their music for our podcast. So thank you, Lo-Fi Grizzly.
Thank you so much, Lo-Fi Grizzly. You are amazing, and what a sweet message that he sent back to you.
Yeah,
That they sent back to you. That's amazing.
yeah, I was expecting a hard no, but they were actually so nice about it.
Yeah, it's good. Just shows that there's really cool people out there, and um, thank you for letting us use your music, and thank you for your support as well. But shall we move on to the next phase of the episode here?
Sure.
All right. So, what I wanted to do in this portion of the episode was I wanted to name some of the key albums of the from each of the years in the 90s real quick, and we can go through like our recollections of that album or any stories about it. Then we can talk about the CDs and the our memories associated with the CDs as well after that.
Sounds good, yeah.
All right. So, some of the key albums that came out in '91 were Nirvana's Nevermind, which of course revolutionized an entire genre, or created a whole genre pretty much. Despite the fact that Nirvana is definitely not my favorite grunge band, that would be Alice in Chains. But, yeah, Nirvana's Nevermind, that was a big one. That blew up big and it changed music forever. Do you have any memories of Nirvana's Nevermind, and in particular, even the hit single off of it, Smells Like Teen Spirit?
Not really, because that was actually also one band that my siblings never listened to. They weren't huge Nirvana fans, so I think we kind of missed that one. I actually wouldn't find out about Nirvana until I met my best friend. She's a huge Nirvana fan.
Okay, yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, that was later on though, like high school.
Yeah, it's kind of like with me with Weezer. I didn't become a huge Weezer fan. Weezer released their debut album in '94, but I didn't even hear Buddy Holly or any of those songs. Say It Ain't So, any of the songs until like the 2000s when I got into Weezer because of their song Hash Pipe being on. So the Green Album was my first introduction to that band. So yeah, it's cool like to think about like that you sometimes you missed out on these bands, but then you discover them way later on.
Hmm.
But yeah. So Nirvana, I didn't have that many memories associated with Nirvana in the '90s either, so much, other than seeing the coverage of Kurt's death on television, which is a dark memory. Um, but I was more Alice in Chains and Soundgarden. Those were and Pearl Jam, of course. Pearl Jam, their album 10 was insane. That came out in '91 as well. You have any memories of Pearl Jam?
No, no, no. Unfortunately, I've heard good
Okay,
things
so
about them though.
yeah. So you're not a you weren't a grunge girl growing up.
No, I became more grunge when I got into my teen years.
Okay, yeah, yeah. It was like it's not a phase, mom. uh, so Metallica's Black Album came out in '91, which featured the Enter Sandman music video, which used to scare the bejesus out of me as a child. I that video was terrifying. Do you have any memories of Metallica and Enter Sandman and things like that?
Yeah, my brother used to listen to Metallica in the car all the time, so that was pretty fun.
Oh yeah, yeah. The song of Wolf and Man is my favorite song off of that album. It's so good. The drums in that are just insane. Like Lars really just like he did too much in that one, and I love it. And I love him for it. Um, they have My Bloody Valentine's Loveless on this list too, which is really cool.
Yeah, that was a good album.
Yeah, I'll have to check it out sometime. Huh?
Check out
Ooh,
that shoe
the Red Hot
god
Chili
there.
Peppers, Blood Sugar Sex Magic.
See, that was another band I never got into.
Oh wow,
Yeah, we didn't listen to a lot of rock in my house.
really?
Yeah, it was
Yeah, I mean that
mostly.
makes sense. I mean different
Yeah,
households and gonna be listening to different stuff sometimes. Like my parents had me listening to all this like grunge music. We would get these CDs in the mail like every month, and I remember the Stone Temple Pilots CD, their first CD coming in the mail, and that was amazing. So yeah, I grew up listening to whatever we got in the mail CD wise, and a lot of it was the grunge stuff and the rock stuff. We had Tori Amos as well. She's really awesome. If you ever heard of her,
I
I
have heard of
remember.
her, yeah.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of her music growing up, obviously. So like, but yeah, they didn't order any of the rap stuff. But guess some of the rap stuff that came out in '91 would feature Cypress Hill's debut.
Yeah. I actually have good memories of that.
You do? I
Yeah.
want to hear about that.
So in 1995, I actually went down to a game store when it was snowing, and it was a school day, and my mom gave me $20 to go buy something. So I went to my local game store, a GameStop or EB Games in Canada, and I bought Matt Hoffman's BMX. I think it was '95, and Cypress Hill was one of the tracks. And I just like listened to Cypress Hill while I was grinding rails and just playing all day. And I love that game actually got me into Cypress Hill.
Dude, that's a really cool story,
Hmm.
honestly. Yeah, like I love like video games getting people into music is a very common thing. Like that's like a lost art with like a lot of the games nowadays. Like I mean, they do have soundtracks in like sports games and other stuff, but I've noticed more and more that they don't. Like I think WWE is one of the last ones that still does like for the most part because like I swear to God I play like some games and it's like all generic like music like you know.
Yeah, I mean WWE 22 actually got me into A Day to Remember because of their soundtrack. So
Oh, sweet. Yeah,
yeah,
that's good. 'Cause, like a lot of people don't really praise the newer soundtracks of WWE games, but like there has been some good songs. Like I'm glad that like Poppy, one of my favorite artists, like she's been featured on several of the WWE soundtracks recently, like over the past few years, which is really cool to see. So
yeah, I
it is a
really
good
like
way to
Poppy.
like get people to discover music.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, Cypress Hill. So I found one for you then. A Public Enemy. What about? Do you know about them? You're a fan of them?
No, I actually haven't heard of them.
Okay, yeah. Public Enemy were big back then too. Ice Cube's Death Certificate album came out in '91 as well.
Oh yeah, I did listen to some Ice Cube. I don't have any specific memories of Ice Cube, but he was always either on my brother's playlist or mine.
Yeah, Ice Cube was always really good. I was always a big fan. In '92, we had My Boys Alice in Chains with Dirt, which, like I said before, besides Pearl Jam's 10, Dirt is like the other definitive grunge album for me. So it's between those two albums, 91's Pearl Jam 10, and then '92's Alice in Chains Dirt. Just amazing. Two amazing albums. And I'm guessing like you don't have much experience with Alice in Chains either.
Not really. I'm gonna be upfront. There was a lot of bands that I missed out on in the '90s.
Okay. It's okay because there's other stuff there. Like there's Dr. Dre, it's the Chronic. Oh my God, you had to
Yeah,
have. Yes, that's a good one.
yeah. I like Dr. Dre.
Yeah, I love Dr. Dre, and the Chronic was so good. um, yeah, I remember having that album. That's the one with the big old pot leaf on it. I remember my dad had that CD.
Yeah.
Yeah, right on the disc there. It's black with like the green pot leaf there. Awesome album. I looking back, I can't believe it came out in '92. Like that's crazy. I thought it was later on in the '90s, but it must be whenever I listened to it was later on in the '90s and seen it.
Yeah.
Um, Tori Amos's Little Earthquakes came out around that time, really good. Um, The Cure, Wish, which is another great album. The Cure were really big, but I wasn't into them at the time. So I can't really like talk about memories with them because I didn't get into them till the 2000s either.
I do remember that my cousin was a big fan of them. And whenever I would go over to visit him and his parents, he would have like the music playing, and I was like, "Who's this band?" And he's like, "The Cure." And I'm like, "Okay."
Yeah, Robbie from The Wedding Singer, Adam Sandler's character, was a huge fan of The Cure. That's why he was so like emo and stuff too with his music as well. I love that. I love how that's what he blamed it on. He was like, "Well, I listen to The Cure a lot."
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. Somebody kill me, please. That's so funny. But yeah. So The Cure, '93, we had Siamese Dream by the Smashing Pumpkins, In Utero by Nirvana, Enter the Wu Tang 36 Chambers by the Wu Tang Clan.
I do like the Wu Tang Clan.
Love the Wu Tang Clan.
Hmm.
That's why so like my YouTube username is the Wu Tai Clan, which is a reference to both the Wu Tang Clan and to Yuffie's hometown Wu Tai in Final Fantasy. I always thought that that was a very creative username, so I've been using it on like different sites over the years. So yeah, I love Wu Tang. Shouts out to Wu Tang Clan.
Shouts out to the Wu Taians in Final Fantasy.
Yeah, shouts out to Yuffie, the Puke Princess, the goat. um, then let's see here. August and Everything After by the Counting Crows is another big one for me. Mr. Jones, that song and that music video was big for me in my childhood, and I was happy to be able to share that with my nephew years later. And getting he was huge into he loved Mr. Jones, and I thought that was cool because that music video used to be something that put me to sleep, like a lullaby, and I got him to listen to that, and I thought that was really cool, like to be able to look back on and be like, yo, your uncle used to love that too. See that I like that kind of stuff. I like being able to share music from my childhood
Yeah.
with yeah, kids these days as well. What about Green Day?
Oh my god, I have such a funny story with Green Day.
Because Dookie came out in '94. What are your memories of Green Day?
So, it's not so much with the original album, but when American Idiot came out, like my brother was
Love
a
that
huge
album.
Green Day fan. So one time, me, his girlfriend, my brother, and my sister went to Niagara Falls for a trip, and we were crossing the border. Now, I don't know ahead of time if it was because it was just after 9/11, because she was a Muslim, right?
Mhm.
And he didn't help the situation by opening the windows on the Rainbow Bridge and blasting American Idiot. And we actually ended up getting detained.
Oh
I'm like
wow.
10 years old. And we got detained and fingerprinted. And we were held for like, I don't know, 2 hours at the border.
Wow,
So,
that's absolutely insane.
so I cannot go into the States and commit a crime because I am in their system forever. They fingerprinted a child.
Oh man, you can't steal anything from here now.
Yeah, I can't do
Damn,
anything.
can't do nothing. That's horrible.
So, yeah, that was every time I listen to that song, I just like have memories of waiting on the bridge and we were yelling at him. We're like, turn it off. And the guards are staring at us. And he's like, nah, we're going to be fine. We're going to be fine. They can't discriminate against us. And I'm like, it's not the song I'm worried about. I was like, it's
Yeah,
him.
that's
His
yeah.
girlfriend was like, it's
Racial
me.
racial tensions after 9/11 were crazy.
So, yeah, he took one look at her and he's like, all right, guys, come with me.
Hmm.
But the song did not
Yeah,
help.
yeah. No, I loved American Idiot. I think that's an amazing album. Sorry that it got you detained. Of course, '94 was their album Dookie, which was huge hit with Basket Case, When I Come Around. It's big time. I remember the CD very well. I remember the album cover. I can picture it in my head because we had that CD on their shelves as well
Hmm.
when I was a toddler. Loved it for sure. Weezer's Blue Album, as I mentioned earlier, came out, which I don't have memories with at that time, but now I love that album. I love everything Weezer. I'm very deep into the Weezer verse. Love those guys. Love Rivers Cuomo. So shouts out Weezer. You're still doing good, and I love it. So Nirvana's MTV Unplugged in New York album. I have a lot of memories of that, as well as Alice in Chains's Unplugged in New York album. Just absolutely amazing stuff. Very haunting. Both performances haunting to watch now, knowing
Yeah.
what we know would later happen to both Kurt Cobain and Lane Staley. Um, just two tortured souls, very much, but two brilliant artists at the same time. But those performances are like very emotional to watch back now. Of course, knowing what we know.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. The Notorious B.I.G. Ready to Die. How about that one?
I don't remember that one specifically, but I probably did listen to it at some point.
Hmm. All right. TLC's Crazy Sexy Cool album, which I don't have memories of, but I do have memories of their 99 album because that's the one that had no scrubs on it. And I used to borrow that CD from my sister.
Yeah,
But
my
I don't
sister
know
used to
anything.
listen
Yeah.
to it.
Yeah, I love TLC. No, I'm not even ashamed of it. Like, they were awesome. Um, Soundgarden, Super Unknown. There it is, the one with Black Hole Sun. So that was I used to play a good. My mom said I used to stand in front of the TV with my little my little guitar that they bought me, and I'd be singing that all the time. Black Hole Sun, just playing the music video over and over again. That hyper realistic, scary, crazy music video that it was. It was horrifying. Everybody's faces are all distorted and it's crazy looking. Uh, and then moving into the 95 key albums, we had Radiohead, Smashing Pumpkins, Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness. Another album I didn't realize the brilliance of till way later on. Just more recently, I've really grown to appreciate the beauty of that record. It was a double album, two discs. Really, really good.
Yeah, I like that
You
album.
ever? Yeah, it's good. It is a good album. Um, Super good. Like, I love Billy Corgan's great. He's a bit of an oddball, and I love him for it. He owns a wrestling company now. If you didn't know that,
Hmm.
yeah, the NWA, which is like the oldest wrestling company in the world. Like, we're talking like 1900s, like wrestling company, like one of the first ones, like the 30s or 20s, I think. But yeah, he brought it. He bought it, and he revived it. It's not doing too good now. The product is very very weird, and it's I don't know. It's very very not good right now. But it was for a little while. It's just cool that Smashing Pumpkins guy owns a wrestling company. Is just a funny little tidbit to add to the podcast. I think.
Yeah.
Um, of course, we have Atlantis Morissette, Jagged Little Pill, which was a huge album for me in my childhood as well. My mom played that constantly. Loved it. Atlantis Morissette was a whole vibe. Like, I don't know if you know anything about her.
Yes. I did listen to her on the radio quite a bit.
Yeah, she was a whole vibe. Like, just crazy. I loved it. Like, I could tell why my mom was a big fan of hers. My mom's a bit off her rocker too, and Atlantis, her music gave that kind of vibe, and that's not a bad thing. Um, yeah, Elliott Smith was another one. Of
Ooh,
course,
I
like I
do
didn't
like
discover.
him.
Yeah, I didn't discover how great he was till later on. Third Eye Blind mentioned him in one of their lines, and I had to go look them up. Like that was one of their newer albums they did. They said something about like them comparing him to an Elliott Smith clone, and I'm like, wait, who's Elliott Smith? I felt like an idiot for not knowing who that was
Yeah, his
because I
story
grew
is
up in
really
that era.
tragic.
Yeah, it is. When I read about that, I was like, wow, okay, like yeah. Um, Mariah Carey's Daydream came out in '96. I was never a big fan of her at all.
I was not either.
What about you?
I wasn't a Mariah Carey fan.
Yeah, I'm not a fan, so not shout out to Mariah Carey. Christmas is coming up. I want to give a shout out to the real. See, people talk about All I Want for Christmas Is You by Mariah Carey, but what about Santa Tell Me by Ariana Grande, fellow '90s baby? Shout out to Ariana Grande.
With Wicked coming out today, yes, shout out to
Yeah,
Ariana Grande.
yeah, Ariana Grande is awesome, and I hope she's doing good. I hope she's having a great day. I gotta watch the first Wicked movie still, and then I can watch the second one. So I've been planning to watch that.
Yeah, you should. It's definitely good.
Yeah, I know. It's a long movie. It's like Star Wars long, like 3 hours long. But I'll watch it. Um, so yeah, Mariah Carey. See you later. We don't need you. I used to borrow a lot of the Britney Spears CDs from my sister. Uh, she, of course, released her album in '99, the Maybe One More Time album, which obviously was huge. It's kind of crazy. Like we started, it was like the rise and fall of the grunge era, then the beginning of the uh, the genre of pop that Britney Spears and others came to define, which has carried on from Britney's time to all the way till now,
Hmm.
which is pretty impressive. But she was like one of the first ones from like pretty much a prototype of that. Were you a fan of Britney at all?
100%. She was probably my favorite singer when I was a kid. Yeah.
Yeah, she was huge. Like she paved the way for so many of them. Like for sure. Like for as much flack as she gets, it wasn't everybody's cup of tea. Like that kind of music. But yeah, like the pop world would be a very different place without her. I mean, it sounds like it's like hyperbole to say that, but like I think it's true in many ways. It's like people who say like Hulk Hogan, like in wrestling, like what would it have been like without Hulk Hogan? As much as like we don't, as much as like he wasn't a good person. Yeah, it's hard to imagine what wrestling would be like without Hogan, just like pop music without Britney Spears. And I know that's probably not the best comparison that Britney would be compared to a racist like Hogan, but still, that's just the comparison that I just chose to go with.
No, it's true.
So yeah, yeah, Britney Spears. I used to borrow those CDs from my sister all the time. Like that was like a guilty pleasure type thing. I wouldn't let her know I listened to that. I would
Well,
just borrow it, put it in my CD player, my headphones, and just listen to it. And like, yep, don't worry, I'm totally not listening to Britney Spears.
one that
It's
came out,
Eminem, I swear.
one that came out before her that was also my favorite band was Spice Girls.
Oh yeah, yeah. My sister was big into the Spice Girls for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, they were pretty much in my CD player like all the time on my car rides.
Yeah, crazy. Like I was so well rounded as a kid. Like I didn't think like I go from listening to all that grunge I loved growing up, and then also being able to listen to stuff like Britney Spears and the Backstreet Boys. I
Hmm.
remember borrowing those CDs. In Sync. I remember borrowing those CDs from my sister as well. Again, like no shame.
Yeah, because there wasn't such a thing as like genderizing the music back then. You know, you just listen.
No.
Like my dad was a huge fan of Backstreet Boys, and I remember, like, at the time it was a lot of teenagers who were into the Backstreet Boys and that, and he would like dance with us in the living room to Backstreet Boys and Spice Girls and NSYNC, and like, it's just like there's no genderizing the music anymore, or back then.
Yeah, that's how it always should be. Like it's like music is music, and just anything, and it applies to like everything in the world. Like there's no like you don't have to be anything to enjoy anything. Like you can enjoy whatever you want. Doesn't
Yeah.
define anything about who you are as a person.
Yeah, like I remember one time working at a coffee shop. This guy had Eminem like blasting, and I was like, "Oh yeah, Eminem's like one of my favorite artists." And he's like, "Really? You like Eminem?" And I'm like, "Why? Why is that surprising?" And he's like, "Well, you're a girl." And I'm like, "What? So girls can't like rap?"
That's weird. That
Yeah.
is weird. Yeah, I'm surprised. Like that is that like that you said that was recent. Like
No, no, this was like probably 10
oh,
years ago.
I mean, still fairly recent.
Yeah.
Like you would think that that kind of mentality would have been like not non-existent anymore, but it's I guess people never fail to amaze me.
Mhm.
uh Fan Mail by TLC, there's the album. 99, that's the one that had no scrubs on it. That was the one that I listened to quite a lot back then.
Yeah, my sister liked that one too.
Yeah, so
I
did my
never got
sister.
into them.
Yeah. uh so yeah, those were the key albums. Like some of the key albums, I'm sure we left quite a few of them out, but those are some of the key albums from the 90's. Now, in terms of the CDs, of course, I told you the first CD I owned was like that I owned was the Third Eye Blind self-titled CD. I remember getting the Linkin Park, Meteora, and Hybrid Theory, those albums. I remember getting those for Christmas. I think Meteora was like 2000s, but Hybrid Theory, I remember very much getting that and as well. I'm gonna look up the years on those ones because I might be like jumping uh, jumping decades for that. Yeah, I am. I'm jumping decades because Hybrid Theory and all the Linkin Park stuff was 2000s. But I do have memories of those being like CDs that I owned.
Yeah. Yeah, mine were, I think my very first album that I owned myself was the Britney Spears one, to be honest.
Yeah, I have a lot of memories with that album, with that CD, obviously, because I borrowed it so many times.
Or
But
no, sorry,
yeah,
Spice Girls. It was Spice
Spice
Girls.
Girls. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. Of course, the Slim Shady LP by Eminem was a big one for me, and it's one that I would spend every day before school. I had a friend named Chris who would come over to my house, and he was like my best friend as a child. Huge Eminem fan. He was one of the guys that they literally wrote. I mean, like you look at him and like you could tell this is the kind of guy that Eminem's talking about with the real Slim Shady, and with songs like Stan, because literally he dyed his hair, bleached his hair. He used to wear those shirts, like he used to dress like Eminem, like he wanted to be Eminem. He was obsessed with him. And this kid would come to my house every morning. We'd walk to school together. But before school, we'd listen to that. It was like tradition. It was like our religion. We would listen to that album before we left for school. We listened to the Slim Shady LP every morning. I'll never forget that.
Yeah, that's fun. I mean, I never had that experience with it. Mine was more every time my sister, because she's only like maybe 5 years older than me, 4 years. No, it's five. Sorry. Um, and she would play Eminem in the car. We didn't like I didn't discover Eminem until maybe 1999. But she would always play Eminem in the car, and it always made my mom furious.
Yeah, I mean, I'd imagine it would. Those albums had the parental advisory stickers on them for a reason.
Yeah,
And
like my mom wasn't too much of a prude when it came to music. Like she let my brother listen to like Marilyn Manson, Rob Zombie. She actually liked Rob Zombie, surprisingly. Um,
yeah, that,
so I think she just didn't like the idea of like 9-year-old me listening to you know like
I
listening
mean,
to
yeah,
Eminem.
when he's literally like making songs about sodomizing women and doing all kinds of like crazy things and then playing these little characters in the album as well.
Yeah,
Well, 97 Bonnie and Clyde, of course, that song.
yeah,
um yeah,
yeah.
unaliving his wife and stuff. Like he did that in a lot of his songs. But
I
yeah,
did.
like it's crazy that we listened to that when we were kids.
Yeah, I did have a friend who was super into Eminem, and we would listen to it on the playground. We'd have like you remember the headphones that you could like, they were made of like a metal band, so you could stretch them really far.
Yeah, yeah, I do remember those.
Yeah.
Those were
So we would like stretch. I'd wear one, and then like stretch it, and she'd press her ear to my ear, and then she could listen to the other side. And we would just listen to that on the playground, and we got in trouble for it one time.
what did the teacher just like come up to you and like want to listen to it? Like, and
Yeah.
like, how did she know what you're
Well,
listening to?
she asked us what we were listening to, and when we said Eminem, I guess there was something like we didn't know who he was. We were just listening to his music, right? And I guess the teacher knew more than us about like the controversies going on with him at the time and everything. So she got really mad and she actually took away the CD player for the day.
Oh my God. I remember going to a church and asking them if I was allowed to still listen to Eminem, and they said no. So I just never went back to that church again. And I was like, can I listen to Eminem? They're like, no, you should not listen to that. I'm like, okay, good talk. I'm not coming back to your church again.
Yeah, like I just thought I like the beats more than anything, right? And I always thought that he was very clever with his lyrics. Just like a quick sidebar too. He reminds me, or sorry, And there's a musical artist. His name is NF. He is actually my favorite musical artist now, and he reminds me a lot of Eminem. And his lyrics are just so like, snappy, and the rhythms are good and everything. So I really liked him, and I wouldn't have gotten into him if I didn't listen to Eminem.
Yeah, a lot of people say that about NF. Like you're not the first person I've heard that from. Sometimes to like a degree, like some people get mad like about the comparisons, which I understand why they would, but like I also can see the comparisons as well. Like he's definitely inspired by him. It's like there's no secret there that he's heavily inspired by Eminem.
Yeah, he's a
It's
great. I've seen him in concert, and he puts on such a good show. And I like that
oh
his
that sounds
music
awesome.
is clean as well, so anybody can listen to it.
Hmm. Yeah, like the exact opposite of Eminem, like the king of controversy.
Yeah, he's like the
Um,
Christian Eminem.
yeah, yeah, that's a good way to put it. Um, yeah, no, I did hear a lot about like the comparisons between the two, and I get them for sure. We were talking about being clean. I hated the Walmart versions of a CD. There was nothing worse than asking for a CD and like your grandma buys it from Walmart and it's the Walmart version, like it's censored.
We never had that.
Like, oh my God, we had the censored versions at Walmart. It was terrible.
I
Like
don't
the you
remember
gotta get
that.
the good
Yeah.
one. Has a sticker, parental advisory. Get that one. That's the one. The you get the other one. That's the one that all the curse words are censored out. There's no point in even listening to that version of an Eminem CD. Like that's just like you just like they just wasted their money on that.
Yeah.
At that point, you're not gonna listen to that.
Yeah, I don't think our Walmart. I don't have any recollection of that happening.
Yeah, that's what we had. We had those. Yep, good old Walmart censored versions of CDs, which were just a joy to have. I was like, Grandma, you just wasted your money because I'm not gonna listen to it. Sorry.
Well, we didn't buy
So
our
mean,
CDs
but
from Walmart. We went to this place called HMV in usually the malls and that, and they would sell like it's just basically a CD store. So
yeah, there wasn't very many music stores where I grew up at like that were left standing. Like there were some. I remember seeing a couple and buying a few little cassettes and CDs from them when I was like a teenager. But um, for the most part, yeah, like music stores like wasn't really a thing so much later on. FYE still to this day sells CDs and vinyls, which is great. I do love that. And there's a store called The Exchange. Shout out to them. They sell vinyls and CDs as well.
yes, I do like
But
vinyls.
yeah, vinyl's making a big comeback now, which is
Mm.
cool. People are collecting them again, and I love that. Getting your hands on like the original prints of like the old vinyls, like that's like the real trick, though.
That's yeah.
So, so yeah, we've talked about quite a bit so far. There's sure there's more ground to cover. We did a sidebar on cassettes last podcast. We can delve back into the cassettes now and talk about our memories with those some more. Uh, of course, like we mentioned before, my first experience with the cassettes were the Third Eye Blind one and the double sided one. I also had Kid Rock's Devil Without a Cause. I had that on cassette and on CD as well, which great album. Kid Rock, not a good person, but Kid Rock, can't doubt that he made some really, really good music, especially that time.
Yeah.
That album's amazing. I love Devil Without a Cause. So good. Huge part of my childhood, right there.
Yeah, I miss cassette tapes actually. I miss they were cute. Like, the way they were packaged, and they had the little like some of them even came with lyrics.
Yeah, the little lyric sheets that were in them were great. They had them in CDs as well, but yeah, I thought it was cool. I thought it was cool having the album, the CD version, and the cassette version of it because it's like they have the same album cover, but like it's just funny seeing it like shrunk down and on the cassette version.
Yeah, and Like my first cassette tape that I remember clearly, because I actually had a cassette player before I was allowed a CD player. So my dad actually bought me the cassette tape. I remember it so vividly too. We went into this big like music outlet. I forget, the only part I forget is why we were there. I think we went to like my grandparents' house, and he bought me The Wizard of Oz on cassette tape, like the original Wizard of Oz recording. And I just remember being so excited because I was like, oh my god, like it's my first, you know, like music. And I listened to Over the Rainbow, but the annoying part was having to keep rewinding and then fast forwarding through other tracks.
Yeah, so it was like the original soundtrack right
Yeah,
there.
like they had put it the movie, so the like Wizard of Oz movie, they had put the 19, I think it came out in like 1920s,
39, I believe.
30s. Yeah.
Yeah.
They had put that into a cassette tape.
Wait, the whole movie?
No, like just the soundtrack.
Oh, okay. I was about to say,
Yeah.
whoa, man, like the whole movie. Why would you want to just listen to the movie?
No. So they had like the soundtrack and then you could, but the annoying part was like Over the Rainbow was like I think the third or fourth one in. So if you went like if you started from the beginning, you had to like fast forward it and it would do that little like zzz, and then you'd have to stop and see where you're at.
Yeah, I know. Those things were a complete trip.
I know, I miss
Yeah, I
them
didn't like
though.
that. There was not a good way to. That's what sucked about the cassettes. Like you couldn't just select the tracks like you could on the CDs.
Yeah. Oh
But
my
I
god.
did like being able to play the cassette tapes backwards.
Yeah. And my dad used to get so mad at me because I used to, on the cassette and the CD player, I used to have a really bad habit of not finishing a song and I would just like skip through. And he finally like was driving one day and he kept hearing me like click the button and he's like, just pick a song and listen to it. And I'm like, yeah, but I'm an imaginative music person. So I need to like, I need to feel like I'm in a scenario when I'm listening to a song,
It's a
you know?
song. It's like song ADD. You know.
Yeah, like the genre
Yeah.
of music that I actually listen to the most is, besides rap, is instrumental music, like theatrical stuff.
Yeah. Um. I listen to a lot of I'm something of a theatrical one myself. I listen to video game soundtracks.
Yeah, so
All
it
the
just makes
Final
sense to
Fantasy
me.
soundtracks.
Yeah,
Nobuo Uematsu. Shouts out to him.
yeah, it's so I always liked listening to music, but it had to be like a specific type of music so that I could like imagine a scenario in my head, if that makes sense.
No, no, I remember. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. It's like when you're like looking out the window on like a car ride or on the bus and the song's playing and you're just like looking out the window lost in thought and you're like imagining yourself in like a situation
Hmm.
because of the song. Yeah, I still get like that when I'm listening to music, honestly.
I'm always like that. It makes it hard to find new music because I can't just sit and listen to an album sometimes. That's like, at work I can put an earbud in and like listen to an album, but I have to be like it has to be a specific genre now for me.
Mm, yeah. A lot of times I find myself thinking of like particular people when I'm listening to certain songs, too. So
Yeah.
that's and like if you're at like the wrong place, you're like, oh, I can't do that here. I don't want to get emotional here.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's I've come up with a lot of story ideas through music though. So I mean, thanks to like Eminem
It's
and
great
F.
muse. Great
Yeah.
muse.
So I
Music's a
mean,
wonderful muse.
it's great. I think that's why I like rap is because it's not so much the lyrics, but it also is because rap music is like lyrical to me. It's like a poem, and I'm a writer, right? So to me, the lyrics are snappy and like just the rhyming that they're doing. It's I don't know how to explain it properly, but I really enjoy rap music because of that and the beats.
Yeah, no, like for sure. With when it comes to rap music, like it's more than just the bars that the person are spitting. It's there's so much more with the instruments and the bass, the beats, everything. that really make it as well. Like so, yeah, like you hear if you hear like the right kind of beat, it's gonna inspire you to maybe even like when someone's like freestyling, like the beat might actually influence like the words that come to their mind.
Yeah, and Eminem actually helped me get into poetry writing because I always wanted to. I watched 8 Mile Road. I remember that my sister took me to see it, against my mother's wishes. um, but she was like, "You'll be fine." And I just remember wanting to be like Eminem in the beginning, where he's like grinding and he's like writing on napkins, whatever he can get. And I was always just like, that's so inspirational, you know?
hmm Yeah, it's very inspirational. That's like I think that's the advice you gave me the one time about like when I was thinking about like I want to write down like all the sketches I come up with. You're like, just do what Eminem did, like just write it down on napkins and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
It's like
exactly.
yeah, just whatever you can like to like remember it.
Yeah, so
When it
that,
comes to your mind, let like yeah, when that muse comes to you, like don't ignore it.
yeah, so I think as a writer, music is super important to me because it has to be a specific type, but when it is that type, it's very inspirational for me.
I agree with you 100% on that, honestly.
Anyway, sorry.
No, like no, that was good. That was a good one. It was that's the good thing about this type of podcast is like I like we encourage going off on like tangents about other things. Like it's just how it is. It's just a natural free flowing conversation. That's what this podcast is. It's different than like a podcast that has like a real script to it. It's more free flowing, and I think that lends itself to making it seem just more like a natural conversation between two people, and that's what it is. It's a natural conversation between two people, and we really going by like just a format. That's all we have. We don't have a script,
Yeah,
and this is it. And I enjoy it, and I think there's an audience for something like that as well.
yeah,
Like who doesn't want to like I love listening to a couple people talk about like it's an interesting topic. Honestly, that's like it's like um this is a weird one. The Aqua Teen Hunger Force episode where the two guys are having that random conversation, and it's the Broodwitch episode where and Shake goes into that like other world, and those two dudes just literally have like the most realistic conversation ever together,
hmm,
and it's like 5 minutes of them just like talking, and he's just standing off to the background listening to them, and I don't know, it kind of feels like that, like, and I like it.
yeah,
It's just like natural conversation. That's what this podcast is, and this has been a great episode. Do you have anything else you want to talk about, like in terms of CDs and cassettes?
I feel like I feel like there's more.
Yeah, I felt like there was more last week with the VHSs that we left out too.
Um, I just like with these natural conversations too. I feel like there's so much I want to say, and then there's I forget about it, and then I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, that's where you folks come in and giving us feedback and leaving comments. You can tell us, hey, you left this out or missed this. You can tell us that. You can yell at us about it. That's fine. Uh, we're cool with that. Uh, it's like the same thing with the one of my favorite podcasts. It's called Screw It. We're just going to talk about the Beatles, and it's just a complete amazing Beatles podcast. It's just everything Beatles, and the guy even said at the beginning, he's like, we get stuff wrong, we leave stuff out, but that's okay. Like you can yell at us about it if you want.
No, like in terms of just the music, like I said, oh, that's what I wanted to talk about. So a majority of my childhood was spent in front of the TV on New Year's Eve because Much Music would do a um like 100 top videos of the decade, like the year, and my sister would always have to conveniently go to work, and I would have to sit in front of the TV because she wanted to know who the last top tens are. So I would have to write them down for her every single time. And my mother was also really into it, surprisingly. She liked Tupac. She really actually liked Tupac. And I was surprised by that, to be honest.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Your mom
Eh,
liking Tupac.
she really liked his message that he was trying to get across in his songs. And
Tupac, yeah, he did have a great message.
yeah. And my that's where a majority of my memories come from is sitting in front of the TV every single year having to watch the top 10 music videos. And it was usually like Britney Spears, NSYNC, Rob Zombie, Marilyn Manson. Much Music is the Canadian version of MTV. So they had like a little studio over in Toronto. And yeah, they were great. I've been there a few times in my childhood, and it was a lot of fun.
That's awesome. Yeah, yeah. Right. We were going to talk about MTV and Much Music. Yeah, Much Music was your guys' version of MTV. We had the video countdowns as well on MTV. We had TRL with Carson Daly. He would host that in New York's Times Square, and he would bring in like people, I guess, all the time, like Limp Bizkit, which back on the CDs, real quick, I remember blasting Chocolate Starfish hot dog flavored water. I remember blasting that CD out my window and at my house. Just I don't know why I would do it. I just did. I like wanted everybody to hear that. Everybody in the neighborhood, you got to hear this. This is a great album. But yeah, Fred Durst would be on there all the time. Eminem was a guest on there. So many people were on there. But I remember the what I liked about the MTV music video countdowns was there was a whole thing where you would call this number and you'd type in a 3-digit code, and that would so you could request a music video to play on the MTV. I remember I think it was 301. I'll never forget it was 301 or Eminem's The Way I Am. And I would do that every day. I would punch that one in every day. I'd have them I want them to play that video for me every day cuz absolutely loved it. That one and Stan, the Stan video was another one that I would always request. And the Real Slim Shady another one. I would always request those videos all the time to be played. And uh yeah, the Stan video used to be like kind of scary for me. Just like that final scene where his ghost is in the window,
Yeah.
like when the lightning hits and you see him in the like that freaked me out a lot as a kid, but I loved it and I always have them play it.
Yeah, I like that music video a lot.
Yeah.
Eminem was
So,
always on the top 10 too.
yeah, always, yep. Both in Canada and in the US, MTV and Much Music both knew what was up. And the ironic thing about both channels is they both suffered the same fate. They both eventually drifted away from music videos and then went towards reality television.
Yeah. Which really sucks because Much Music had like Ed the Sock, which was just this sock. It was, I don't know how else to describe it. It was just a
This is
sock.
their little mascot.
Yeah, and he like the person Ed the Sock would have these increments during commercials and that where he would like it was just a sock on some guy's hand and he was smoking a cigar and he would just like commentate what was coming up next.
I absolutely love the absurdity of that. That's awesome.
I'm gonna see if I can find a picture of him.
Kind of reminded me of a Triumph, the puppet dog.
Oh yeah, that brings back memories. He has like green hair, green eyebrows. Yeah, and he had his own show. Oh, okay, I didn't know that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, good times in
Yeah,
the
man.
'90s with music. Like I said, I wasn't a huge. It's the same with movies. I wasn't a huge movie or music person until much later in my life, but there were definitely music like albums that definitely impacted the genre that I listen to now.
Yeah. Um, you know, another story about CDs. We go back to Pearl Jam's 10 and how much I love that album. I actually love that album so much that I had to go to the hospital because of it. My mom was playing it downstairs, and I heard the opening notes to it was for Even Flow. I heard Even Flow playing, and I bolted down the stairs because I wanted to listen to it with my mom, and I ended up slipping, tripping, and falling down the stairs head first, bashing my head on like every step. I was busted open and I had to get stitches.
Oh
It's
my
horrible.
god.
Horrible memory. Pearl Jam did that to me, but I still love that album. But I can't listen to that album without like kind of getting a little bit of a headache because I'm like, yo, this album busted my head open and sent me to the hospital.
I mean, yeah, that's. I don't think I have anything that crazy when it comes to um, music. I remember specifically a fight between my sister and my brother taking place during Rob Zombie's album, and they were like actually fighting each other. They never touched me because I was the special premature baby, so my mother never let them near me. But they definitely took their frustrations out on each other with Rob Zombie's album.
Damn, just the great Rob Zombie melee.
Yeah, I actually listen to Rob Zombie whenever I'm going in for an interview, just to like channel my inner badass. You know?
Yeah, I mean, he does have that effect. Like with his music, it kind of does make you feel like a badass somewhat.
Yeah,
That's me listening to wrestling theme songs before like I do anything like go to work and whatnot.
yeah, like
It's like,
walking into your
you know,
work.
yeah, like I listened to Metalingus Edge's theme song by Alter Bridge. Really good song. I listen to that when I'm like in need of inspiration. I know it sounds stupid, but I do like because like even like I don't know. There's just like I just think of his character and I'm like, what would Edge do in this situation? Like he was like he was a scumbag character, but he would also like he was the ultimate opportunist is like what he was. So I listen to that song and I think about invoking the ultimate opportunist. I'm like, I'm gonna seize this day. I'm gonna seize this moment, like what Edge would do.
Do you mean Edge? I have a fun fact about Edge, actually, quickly.
Really?
Yes, so he actually grew up here in my town.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
Yep, in your town,
and
like yeah, your
my
actual town.
mother was volunteering at a senior center to
Yeah,
call like seniors and that. And one of her favorite clients was Edge's grandmother.
that's
And I
awesome.
worked with his cousin, so I actually trained his cousin. I'm not gonna mention any names, but
Yeah,
yeah. So small world.
dude, that's amazing. Honestly,
Yeah,
what are the odds?
yeah. No, Edge was great. He
Yeah, I
came
say
into Tim
nice.
Hortons
Yeah,
one time, and when I was working there, and he was such a nice guy. And it was late at night, and we were open 24/7. And my sister asked him for an autograph, and he didn't have anything to sign, so he just grabbed like a napkin and then scribbled his signature on it. And he was like, "Make sure you keep that safe."
yeah, I love Edge. He's one of my favorites of all time. So
Yeah.
that's really cool. It's funny that I brought him up, and now I got this cool story
Hmm.
about him. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Born in my
Yeah,
hometown.
it's like your actual town. Like I know he's from, he's built from being from Toronto.
No, he came
Like
originally from my town.
yeah, but like yeah, of course, like anytime wrestlers they have to like they pick the big cities as like where the announcers build them from, you know.
Hmm.
But like when they grow up at like might not be like a well-known city, so like I guess they don't use it,
Yeah,
as
it's
that because
not.
it doesn't have as big of an impact. Like from this town, Edge doesn't have the same as like from Toronto.
Yeah, yeah, and also Michael Sarah. Speaking of the movie thing, Michael Sarah was also born not in my town, but just in the next town over. So he used to come into Starbucks quite a bit when he was in town.
That's really cool.
Yeah, all the girls
You
would
got
freak out.
yeah, I'd
And
imagine.
I'm like trying to serve him. He's in the drive-through, and I have to be the mature one, and I'm like, they're like, oh my god, don't you know who that is? It's Michael Sarah, and I'm like, I know who it is. Give him his damn coffee. Like, but
Yeah,
yeah,
you got to still remain professional in that situation, and that'd be pretty hard to do, honestly.
yeah. So fun fact about Edge for the people that don't know, he was born in a small town, in my town, and I trained his cousin.
That's so cool, man.
Mhm. So sorry,
So I'm glad
sidebar.
we remembered the MTV thing. I'm glad we remembered that
Yeah,
and the Much Music thing,
yeah,
because I would have been kicking myself if this episode released and we didn't talk about MTV and Much
that's true.
Music.
I had to bring it up
So we,
before we ended because I noticed that we were forgetting about it, and then I was like, "That's right, much music."
yeah, Much Music and MTV. We talked about cassette tapes, talked about CDs. We talked about many of the classic albums from the '90s. The subscription service my parents used to get, where we get the big box of the latest CDs in the mail.
Yeah.
Never forget that. I love that. The Stone Temple Pilots. We used to get the videotapes as well of the latest music videos that would come in the mail all the time too. And that's where I traumatized myself with stuff like Enter Sandman's music video and Man in the Box by Alice in Chains. Terrifying video, gave me nightmares. The dude has his eyes sewn shut and it's horrifying. I do not recommend that for a child to see.
One other thing that I wanted to bring up quickly too was back in the day it was very hard to get your hands on certain music like the final like video game music, right? So cuz bigger cities would have like import shops that would bring them in from Japan. And we didn't have that where I was. So I would leave the TV on if I wanted to listen to a song, and I would just leave it on and let it repeat just over and over.
That's insane.
Like I remember like Legend of Dragoon, or sorry, also like the early Grand Theft Auto games, like the PS1
Yeah.
ones. I would always just leave the game running, and I wouldn't be doing anything. I would just like leave the
I mean,
music.
yeah, that's like the only way we could listen to the music at the time was just to play the game and then just listen to the music in the background.
Yeah,
I remember certain games had the menu option where you could just go listen to the soundtrack. One of the Sonic games had that, where you could just go and listen to the soundtrack in the options menu, and I thought that was amazing. I spent a lot of time listening to the Sonic music just randomly, just be doing other stuff in the room while the different Sonic music would play.
yeah, that was like me with the Matt Hoffman game, with the BMX. I can't
Yeah.
remember. I might be mispronouncing the last name, but I know it was Matt something. But I would just leave it running and just listen to the audio track. Back then, there were only like maybe 5 tracks, but
Wow. Um, Another thing we can bring up real quick. I mean, it goes with the video game episodes that we'll do eventually here coming up, but also 90s and music. Spyro the Dragon's soundtrack, since we're talking about video game soundtracks real quick, uh, was composed by Stuart Copeland from The Police, if you didn't know that.
oh, I didn't know that. It's another
Yeah,
fun fact.
I always thought that was so cool that he did that whole soundtrack for Spyro.
Yeah, that's actually another fun fact. See, you learned something new.
Yeah. So there's my fun fact there to contribute was Stuart Copeland from The Police did the Spyro soundtrack.
But you had a couple. You also had the Smashing Pumpkins guy by
Yeah,
the
Billy Corgan owns the NWA
yeah,
wrestling company.
NWA.
Yep.
Sorry.
Yeah. Not to be confused with the NWA rap group, who are also amazing.
Yeah, I like them.
I can't say what that stands for. I'm not allowed.
People can look it up on their own.
Yeah, you don't know what they stand for. You
Yeah,
gotta look them up.
yeah. Just
Not
look
gonna
it
say
up.
it. Not saying it. I'm not Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, this was another really fun discussion this
Hmm.
week. I think I like this one even more than last week.
Yeah, I have a feeling I'm really gonna like the ones going forward, like the video game one especially, because that was a huge part of my childhood.
Yeah, we're gonna go crazy on the video game one, I believe.
But I enjoyed because it brought back some memories. Like even though I said it wasn't a huge like movies and music wasn't a huge part of my childhood until later, it definitely has unlocked like core memories for me.
Yeah, it's why we do this thing. It's great. It's reminisces. It brings the feelings back up. Reminds you of just like a simpler time, but and it also it brings other people into like your world in a way too, like into your childhood, and you know I think that's cool sharing those kind of stories with others as well and
Yeah,
those experiences.
yeah, I agree.
And of course, it can inspire us to like pursue other things, like like in our own like right bringing up these types of things and being like, like inspiration can strike at any time for like our creative ventures like writing and things of that nature or anything we want to do. And talking about this kind of stuff kind of like evokes that kind of stuff for me at least as well.
Yeah, like I 100% don't think that I would be into writing if I didn't listen to the genre that I listened to at the time.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's a good point, too.
Yeah. So like if you have anything else to add?
Not at the moment, because I'm blanking again.
Yeah. I've always feel like when that happens it's more of a good time to call it. This has been a great episode. This has been episode 2 of the Before the Ball Drop podcast. Once again, shouts out to everybody that we shouted out in this episode.
Definitely.
Again.
And yeah, thank you for joining in again. And it's been a great time talking about music from the 90s.
Yep, music from the 90s. We have movies. What say you for next week? Should next week be the video game one or should we do the anime one?
Ooh, let's do anime.
Next week, the 90s anime one. We're going to talk about Toonami and then the Canadian equivalent of Toonami as well. That's right. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the differences between the two, and that's going to be exciting. I'm really excited for talking about 90s anime and our experiences with anime in the 90s, and I have a lot of good stories to tell, so I'm pretty excited about this.
I have one story too that you can't let me forget. Remind me that I have a story regarding undergrads. Just say undergrads to me, and I'll remember it.
Noted. I will remember to do that then. Yeah, that sounds exciting. I like hearing your stories, and yeah, we can't leave nothing out. We're gonna lock in big for the anime and the video game one.
Definitely.
Gonna be insane. Once again, though, thank you guys for listening. This has been episode 2 Before the Ball Drop podcast. Tune in next week for episode 3.
And these are your hosts, Bouncerback.
These are your hosts, James. And I'm sorry.
It's fine.
We'll get the timing right. We'll get the timing right eventually. Here you go. These were your hosts,
Bouncerbacks.
Bouncerbacks. And James, hey, you were Rebekkah last week. Now you're Bouncerbacks.
Yeah, gotta stick with the...
Changing it up on them now.
Yeah, gotta stick with the username.
All right, we're doing it. Bouncerbacks, right. James /Wutai Clan.
All right, guys, thank you so much for joining, and have a good week, and we'll see you next week.
See you.